By chance, Qin Mo found a vermilion bird pendant and unexpectedly entered the world of full-time mages. I am also a dual awakened talent. How come my awakened magic is different from others? Time system, controlling time. Summoning, why can I summon the heavens while others are all-dimensional summoners? It's not an exaggeration to say, can I summon Digia over? Do you believe it? There are also auxiliary and reinforcement systems. Qin Mo is strange. Why is my awakened magic department so invincible? Note. The female protagonist Tang Yu has been confirmed, and Xin Xia Mu Ning Shui has ruled it out. We will discuss the female protagonist later. Keywords of the novel. Full-time mage. Opening Awakening Time series with no pop-ups, full-time mage. Opening Awakening Time series with full TXT download, full-time mage. Opening Awakening Time series with latest chapters to read. Chapter 1. Self-Awakening, Time Magic. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 1 Self-Awakening, Time Magic. Huaxia, Tianlan Magic High School. A handsome young man propped his chin with both hands and stared blankly at the podium several meters away. Qin Mo never expected that he would just bend down and pick up a delicate and lovely bird pendant, and be brought here, an incredibly damn era. This is the world of full-time mages, with demons everywhere and humans in imminent danger, at any time at risk of extinction. Although there are mages in this world, the strongest mage is nothing more than a forbidden spell. What about the forbidden curse? In the eyes of a master-level demon, it's just a dish. It's not an exaggeration to say, it's killed with just a few fingers. Any one of these dominant emperors, such as the Dark King, the Antarctic Emperor, or the Lord of the Sahara, is a catastrophic existence. It can be said that human strength is less than 1% of that of demons. But under this almost apocalyptic demon external threat, the human world is still not striving for progress and engaged in fierce internal strife. To be honest, the fact that the human world has not yet been destroyed is quite a miracle. Vermilion bird, what are you bringing me here for? Saving the world. This is a full-time mage's dungeon, isn't it too difficult? Qin Mo looked at the small bird pendant on his chest and murmured to himself. After these days of contemplation, he also realized that this little bird is not an ordinary bird, but a vermilion bird. More precisely, it is one of the 4 divine beast totems in the current world, symbolizing the vermilion bird totem of destruction and rebirth. Mo Fan was brought here by the green dragon totem, and he himself was also brought here by the vermilion bird totem. Good news, I have become a traveler. Bad news, the world we travel through is a full-time mage. Alas, don't think so much about it for now. Once it comes, let it be. Qin Mo murmured to himself, looking up at Mo Fan standing on the podium. After Mo Fan awakens, it's his turn. When the legal system awakens, what will he awaken? Fire or thunder? Or other more powerful magic spells? His gaze was fixed on Mo Fan not far away, and just as Mo Fan reached out to touch the awakening stone, the scene in front of Qin Mo changed. In the vast, profound, and endless darkness, stars and dots emit bursts of light. What is the situation? Qin Mo stared blankly around, in a vast yet lonely environment, like an endless expanse of starry sky. Just as he was shocked, Qin Mo noticed a few tiny specks of stardust suddenly appearing around him. Red, purple, blue. Qin Mo unconsciously stepped forward, and as he approached the red starry dust in front of him, he could clearly feel the scorching atmosphere emanating from the dust. Is this a fire-type stardust? Qin Mo felt a little puzzled in his heart, and then he walked towards the purple starry dust beside him. As he approached, a tingling sensation came from his body. At the same time, he could also clearly feel the extremely irritable energy contained in the purple stardust. Thunder-type stardust. I seem to have awakened myself, but why is there so much stardust in my spiritual world? Mo Fan's innate talent is dual lineage awakening. What am I, awakening of the entire system? But I remember there were only 20 departments among full-time mages. Countless doubts arose in Qin Mo's heart, with only 20 series in total. However, the stardust that appeared near him had already exceeded 20. But the most important thing at the moment is still the ongoing awakening of the legal system. The stardust floating around was calling out to him, and vaguely, Qin Mo had a premonition in his heart. He can freely choose 2 out of these 20 stars and dust. That is to say, like Mo Fan, Qin Mo can awaken 2 magic spells each time. What should I choose? Qin Mo pondered in his heart. He can analyze the color of the stardust and the energy contained within it to determine what kind of magic system it is. But Qin Mo couldn't determine how many stardust there were. Now in front of Qin Mo is a stardust that is difficult to describe in words. It has no color, it seems to exist, and it seems not to exist. It was clearly in front of him, but Qin Mo always felt like there was something between him and this starry dust. This is an unknown magic genre, definitely not within the 20 magic genres that Qin Mo knows. This magic system is mysterious and powerful, even though it contains only a tiny fraction of its power in this stardust. But Qin Mo can still feel its strength. Let me see what kind of power you are. Without much hesitation, Qin Mo reached out his hand to stardust in front of him. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, a full 3 seconds passed, but Qin Mo's right hand only extended a little distance forward. My movements have become so slow. Qin Mo couldn't help but whisper softly. As soon as his words fell, his movements suddenly became extremely fast and he plunged into the unknown stardust in front of him. I seem to know what this is. Seizing this hazy starry dust, Qin Mo felt as if he had seized the time. At the same time, his first magic series finally awakened, Time Series. I actually awakened to the time system. Qin Mo felt a burst of ecstasy as he confirmed that his awakening magic was based on time. This is time. Controlling time is much more powerful than controlling soil, water, wind, and fire, right? Even space magic has to be one head shorter in the face of time. Surprisingly, I can awaken time magic. It seems that I also have cheats. Is that right? It's impossible to save the world without cheats. Even if I have exceptional talent and can become a forbidden sorcerer in the future, I cannot defeat Imperial-level demons. After a burst of joy, Qin Mo turned his gaze to several stardust beside him. Happy to be happy, but he didn't forget that he still has a magic department that hasn't been awakened. What should we choose next? Do we still choose unknown? There were still a few stars and dust around that Qin Mo could not distinguish from the magic series, and after much contemplation, Qin Mo decided to awaken the fire series. The time frame is definitely impressive, but in the early stages, there may not be much combat ability. If you want to have good combat power at the beginning, you still need to choose the fire type. Thunder and fire are both magic spells that have impressive power from the beginning, but the slight difference between the two is that while thunder is powerful, it also has some control effects. Fire is the purest form of violence, and in terms of power, it is even stronger than thunder. Many thoughts flashed through Qin Mo's heart, and his goal was firm as he walked towards the nearby fire star dust. But before he could take a few steps, he felt the world in front of him shake. Then, the starry sky dissipated, and a detestable face appeared in front of Qin Mo. Why is he said to be detestable? Because he interrupted my magical awakening. Hey! Qin Mo roared in his heart and looked at Mo Fan in front of him with cannibalistic eyes. Rao was startled by Qin Mo's sudden penetrating gaze, even with Mo Fan's fearless nature. But it was just a moment, and after that, he shook Qin Mo's head and said, Qin Mo, don't be in a daze. The teacher is waiting for you to awaken your magic on top. Upon hearing this, Qin Mo turned his eyes to the podium, where the teacher was looking at him with a gloomy expression on his face. Hurry up and don't waste everyone's time. Here we go. Qin Mo nodded and got up, walking towards the podium. The awakening of the second series of magic was interrupted by Mo Fan, but now Qin Mo realizes that in his spiritual world, the scattered stardust is still calling out to him. It seems like there's no big problem, the second series should use the awakening stone awakening. Come to the stage and touch the awakening stone. Qin Mo closed his eyes and returned to the boundless starry sky just now. Without any accidents, various colored stardust appeared before his eyes one after another. Qin Mo had already made a decision, and at this moment he walked straight towards the nearby red starry dust. By touching with your hands, warm and hot energy is transmitted from your hands. Qin Mo opened his eyes, and on the awakening stone in front of him, a wisp of fire danced like an elf. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Dual Series Awakening Talent, Second Magic Series, Fire. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Dual Series Awakening Talent, Second Magic Series, Fire. I'll go, it's fire again. The third fire department in our class. The classmates in the audience exclaimed one by one, and even the homeroom teacher Shui Mushing, who had just turned ugly, now became happy and made Qin Mo laugh. Qin Mo Fan, and Zhou Min, the class I'm leading has actually produced 3 popular genres, and there is hope for promotion. Watching Qin Mo quickly take his seat, Shui Mushing seemed to see his own beautiful future. Today's first class is called The Release of Magic. After everyone had awakened, Shui Mushing, who was feeling excited, began to explain the magic. The release of magic is divided into 3 steps. Meditation, control, and release. Meditation is the act of fully focused thinking, turning one's mind into nothingness. Afterwards, one can see their own stardust in this void. Meditation is essential, and only through it can Qin Mo's spiritual and magical abilities be enhanced. After meditation, it's about control. After reaching a certain level of spiritual cultivation, one can start controlling the stars in the starry dust. There are 7 stars in a piece of stardust, which are very active and engage in irregular movements almost every moment. And control is to use mental power to control these 7 stars, allowing them to stay in designated positions. All 7 stars remain in fixed positions, connected in a straight line, forming their orbits. After the orbit is completed, the magic energy is consumed and released. During the month after the awakening of magic, Qin Mo practiced meditation day and night. He, like Mo Fan, has dual lineage awakening talents, and his spiritual power is twice as strong as that of ordinary people. Like Mu Bai and Zhou Min, Ming Xiu couldn't hold on for 4 or 5 hours, but Qin Mo could hold on for 10 hours. After 10 hours of meditation, Qin Mo went to eat and sleep, woke up and continued meditation. In the first half of the month, Qin Moming needed to close his eyes and concentrate. Gradually, he was able to multitask. Meditation while washing face, brushing teeth, eating, and now, he is running hard on the playground. Others think that Qin Mo gave up on magic and came here to exercise his body, sacrificing his roots and pursuing the last. But he didn't know that he was running while practicing in the dark, which was called a dual approach. In this world of full-time wizards, almost everyone excels in magic and pays no attention to physical exercise. They have powerful magic, but their bodies are relatively fragile. Suddenly, a high-level mage can even be stabbed to death by ordinary people. I can't do this. I need to be proficient in magic control and also in controlling my body, Qin Mo muttered to himself in his heart, and after running hard for 10 kilometers, he lay back on the lawn, sweating profusely. He meditated and ran for a week. At first, I could only run 4 or 5 kilometers, but now I can run 10 kilometers, and my endurance has improved significantly. On the other hand, in the practice of meditation, I practiced day and night for a month, spending more than 14 hours each day. Now Qin Mo doesn't know where he has progressed. Why don't you try to control it? Anyway, I'm too tired to move now, so I can concentrate on practicing control. As Qin Moe lay on the lawn, he closed his eyes and began to control the stars in the dust with his own thoughts. There are two stardust in Qin Mo's spiritual world. A blurry and distant, misty and hazy, is the time system of stardust. A warm and scorching, red and dazzling, it is a fiery star dust. The stars in the starry dust are very active, like children who never know they are tired, constantly moving back and forth in the world of starry dust. Qin Mo tried to control the time series stars with his mind, treating his own children gently like a father, being gentle and persuasive. But the result was completely useless. This child is completely disobedient, it seems that I need to use tough tactics. Qin Mo thought to himself, becoming more focused, as if his thoughts had transformed into a big hand, gripping the constantly beating star in his palm. Don't move, don't move. He struggled to control the randomly moving stars and finally made them stay in place for a second. With a whoosh, the star flew out of his spiritual palm and ran to another place. Take your time, don't worry. Qin Mo secretly thought to himself that he had plenty of time to train these mischievous children. In Qin Mo's spiritual world, there are two starry dust, one time series and one fire series. He did not differentiate between these two stardust. After controlling the time system for 1 hour, he switched to the fire system stardust and also controlled it for 1 hour. The basic skill of the fire system is called Fire Z. Regarding the arrangement order of these 7 stars, the homeroom teacher Shui Mushing explained it in detail in the 2nd class, and Qin Mo has memorized it proficiently. As for the beginner skill in time series, it is called time control. Qin Mo also knew the arrangement order of time-controlled stars, but no one taught him this. It was the time-based star dust who told Qin Mo himself. Time control is undoubtedly a very powerful skill, but it itself does not cause any damage. But it's okay, time series doesn't hurt, Qin Mo still has fire series. As long as we can combine time series with fire series, we can definitely achieve impressive results. Throughout the entire semester, Qin Mo spent every day practicing meditation and exercising. Today is the end of the first semester, and Qin Mo is already quite proficient in controlling the stars. The 7th star is about to be successfully controlled. Note that it is the 7th star of the binary system. And after a semester of hard exercise, Qin Mo's physical fitness has also been greatly improved, even growing quite a bit taller, almost 1.8 meters. On the podium, Shui Mushing earnestly talked about the importance of meditation. He gave examples of hard-working Mu Bai, and Zhou Min. Mu Bai was able to control 5 stars, while Zhou Min was able to control 4 stars, which was praised by Shui Mushing. After explaining the positive example, it is inevitable to have a negative example. Mo fan, Qin Mo. You should also work harder for me. I'm just slacking off, and even now I can't control a single star. The other one, being greedy for small things and losing big things, lost watermelons and picked sesame seeds. Why run on the playground all day without proper meditation? I also specifically went to buy books about combat skills. Come on, Qin Mo, tell me, what are you doing? Do you want to hammer the demon to death with your fist? What nonsense! Remember to practice well for me after returning from winter vacation. When school starts, I will give you 2 separate exams. If your control is still as chaotic as it is now when school starts, let's see how I deal with you. That's all for now, let's all disband. After saying these words, Shui Mushing walked out of the classroom, and the classmates in the class also left one after another. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Time-based beginner magic, delayed time control. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 3 Time Series Beginner Magic, Time Control. Slow as Qin Mo's desk mate, Mo Fan didn't want to see him so willingly fall. While packing up his things, he leaned over and raised his eyebrows, saying, "Hey, this is the world of magic. If you give up on magic and don't learn how to fight, don't you want to become a superhero? One Punch Superman. Upon hearing the familiar name, Qin Mo couldn't help but smile but remained silent. Why don't you talk? Do you think I'm such a lazy and useless person who hasn't practiced well for a semester? Mo Fan looked at Qin Mo and said. Upon hearing this, Qin Mo smiled and leaned closer to Mo Fan, whispering in his ear. How could you just be fooling around? I've seen that you've been working hard all semester to cultivate. I estimate that your Thunder Star should be almost under control, right? It's not far from the release of magic. How are you? Upon hearing these words, Mo Fan was first surprised, then blinked at Qin Mo with a bewildered expression and said strangely. Ah. What were you saying earlier? I can't understand. Still pretending, I saw it at the beginning of the school year, you awakened the Thunder and Fire factions. Qin Mo smiled and said, with such subtle words passing through Mo Fan's ears, it was like applying a preliminary thunder seal to him, electrocuting him from the outside to the inside. Hiss. After taking a deep breath, Mo Fan smiled and looked at Qin Mo in front of him with a pleasing expression. Mo Gu, can I call you Mo Gu? You didn't tell anyone about my awakening, did you? Do you think I'm a talkative person? Hee, it doesn't look like it to me either. Mo Fan chuckled at the words and then grabbed Qin Mo's shoulder, saying. I have decided that from now on, you will be my brother and I will be your brother. Whenever you encounter something in the future, just come find me, I'll cover you up. Take care of each other. Qin Mo nodded and then picked up his backpack and looked at Mo Fan beside him. You may not believe it, but I can practice control meditation while practicing combat skills. I estimate we can control the 7th star in the next 2 days. There's one more thing Qin Mo didn't say, the 7th star in his mouth is the 7th star in the double system. Ignoring Mo Fan's shocked expression behind him, Qin Mo packed his backpack and left the classroom. He is walking home while also controlling the 7th star in the time system. After walking for over half an hour, Qin Mo took out the key and opened the door. At the moment the door was pushed open, the 7th star in the time series came to a stop. This mischievous child finally straightened up and sat in its seat. In an instant, within the illusory and hazy time and dust, star orbits appeared. This orbit appears and disappears, using the first star as a medium to drag out its long tail like a meteor, connecting it with the other 6 stars in succession. Time control delay. Qin Mo secretly thought to himself and then raised his hand to move a little in front of him. With Qin Mo's guidance, an incredibly hazy light flashed on the table not far ahead. This light flashed and disappeared, and Qin Mo's eyes were fixed on the table inside the room, almost unnoticed. His gaze lingered on the table for a long time, but he did not see any change in the table. The first level time control is called delay, and its magical effect should be to slow down the target's time flow. But the table is already a dead object, standing still and unable to show any effect is normal. I should find a biological test that allows me to move freely. Qin Mo secretly analyzed in his heart, and after thinking for a long time, he decided to use himself to conduct this experiment. When releasing time control delay, he can freely choose a target within his own 20-meter range. After selecting the target, a mental movement will directly affect the target. Just now Qin Mo realized that this skill can be chosen as the target, which is convenient for him to test. Qin Mo first looked at the time at home, and when the scale of the second hand reached 0, he applied a moment of relaxation to himself. Then, he spread his legs and ran forward with all his strength. He ran at full speed for 100 meters before turning back. As he ran, Qin Mo silently counted down in his heart, remembering the time. By the time he ran another 100 meters back home, the second hand on the clock had already moved forward 40 squares. 40 seconds have passed, but the time I timed myself is 20 seconds. Has the speed decreased by half? After a semester of training, Qin Mo has run at full speed and reached 10 meters per second, almost catching up with Bolt. He just applied time control sluggishness to himself, running 200 meters in 40 seconds, and his speed dropped to 5 meters per second. To be precise, it's not that Qin Mo's running speed has slowed down, it's that the time flow on his body has become slower. The flow of time on himself became slow, but Qin Mo just didn't feel anything. He was also timing, but in Qin Mo's eyes, time had not changed. He ran 200 meters in just 20 seconds. In Qin Mo's eyes, everything was as usual without any change, but compared to this world, he slowed down. So he could see that the passers-by on the street were walking very hurriedly, and the speed of rushing became particularly fast. But the fact is, the speed at which passers-by rushed did not increase, it was he who became slower himself. Thinking, actions, and feelings all become delayed due to time, but Qin Mo, as the person involved, is completely unaware. After understanding the effect of time delay, Qin Mo couldn't help but secretly shudder in his heart. Undoubtedly, this is an incredibly powerful skill that can be considered a divine skill. Think about it, if in the future battles he faced, he would impose a time delay on his enemies. The opponent's speed was directly reduced by 50%, but they were completely unaware of the situation and had no idea that their speed had slowed down. That person would only feel inexplicable, wondering why the speed of the people around him suddenly became so fast. It really deserves to be a time series. It's just a beginner-level magic, and it can have such abnormal effects. It's just a bit too mana-consuming. Qin Mo couldn't help but shake his head and sigh. With just 2 slow moments, he felt his time system stardust becoming dim. Even if Qin Mo could control it again and connect the 7 time series stars together. With his dim and lifeless stardust, he is now unable to unleash time control delay. Simply put, he ran out of blue. Releasing magic requires mana consumption, which is magical power. The more abundant the magical energy in the starry dust, the brighter the stars will be. As the magic energy in the stardust is consumed, the light emitted by the stars will gradually dim. When the star child becomes like Qin Mo now, with almost no light visible, it means that the magic energy is depleted, and naturally the corresponding magic cannot be released. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. First Level Fire, Burning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 First Level Fire, Burning. The time series stardust that now belongs to Qin Mo has become dim, but his fire series stardust is still bright. This is one of the benefits of dual lineage awakening. Every time you awaken one more series, you will have an extra tube of blue than others. The magic energy consumption of this series can still be switched to another series for continued use, which is much more long-lasting than single series awakening. Now that the magic power of the time system has been exhausted, Qin Mo returned to his own room, then propped his hands on the ground and began to meditate. He cleared his mind and saw his own time series of stardust, and then began doing mechanical push-ups. Qin Mo can meditate while running or during push-ups. But he couldn't practice fighting skills while practicing meditation, which made Qin Mo quite regretful. Push-ups and running both involve repeating a single movement without stopping. Qin Mo can turn these 2 sets of actions into physical instincts, allowing his body to work like a machine, while his mind enters the starry sky and recognizes the sea, practicing meditation on his own. To do some complex things while practicing meditation, one must achieve dual use with one mind. Qin Mo cannot do it now. Hitting wooden stakes, running, doing push-ups. Qin Mo was exercising while practicing in the dark, and soon 5 hours passed. His consciousness finally emerged from the starry sky and sea of consciousness. After finishing his meditation, Qin Mo instantly felt extremely tired. This is true exhaustion, limb soreness, and inability to lift any strength. As soon as you close your eyes, you can immediately fall asleep. I'm tired, and a little hungry. The intensity of this cultivation is really a bit high. Qin Mo, who had 2 lifeless eyes, lay on the ground and murmured, he really wants to sleep now, but he keeps opening his eyes and forcefully cheers up. Control. Seeing the time series Stardust again, Qin Mo began to use his mind to control the 7 stars in the Stardust. After 5 hours of meditation, Qin Mo's time-based magic has been restored significantly. But it is still extremely difficult to release the slowness. His spirit is too lethargic, and his thoughts are not as strong as before. When he was full of energy, Qin Mo's own thoughts were like a robust young man. And now, Qin Mo's mind is like an old man leaning on a cane. Youth discipline mischievous children, one by one, and place them in their respective positions like carrying chicks. And when the elderly discipline the children, even if they shout loudly and their legs are almost broken, they may not be able to see a single figure. So Qin Mo took a full 10 minutes to complete the control this time. It's really not easy. The old man leaned on his cane and drove the 7 little kids to their respective positions. At this moment, the orbit of the star has finally been depicted, and magic immediately shines out. Time control delay. Qin Mo thought to himself, then raised his hand a little and applied a delay to the clock hanging on the wall. Drip drip drip. Qin Mo was counting in his heart, with the clock hanging on the wall and the hands slowly turning. Every 2 seconds he counts, the second hand on the clock moves forward 1 grid. 2 minutes later, the second hand on the clock finally completed 1 circle. Qin Mo was not surprised that time magic can also have an effect on objects. The reason why he would release time delay against the clock on the wall is to know the duration of the time delay magic accurate to seconds. Dida dida. The second hand on the clock slowly moved non-stop, and Qin Mo stared intently, silently counting in his heart. Finally, after he counted 360 seconds, the 361st second fell. With a click. The second hand on the watch has moved 1 grid. Then, duh. 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 The Qin Mo counts every second, and the second hand moves forward 1 grid. It was no longer slow, and it lasted for 6 minutes. Now, time has passed and the clock has returned to normal. The duration of time delay is 6 minutes, not more than a second, not more than a second. Qin Mo muttered to himself, then flipped over and lay down on the bed. He was so tired that he fell asleep as soon as his eyelids closed. Qin Mo slept for a full 12 hours this night, and by the time he woke up, it was already early the next morning. I'm so hungry. Feeling empty inside, Qin Mo first prepared something to eat, then briefly washed up before starting to practice control. The control of the time system has been practiced quite well, and although the 7th star is a bit mischievous, he still listens to him. So Qin Mo decided to focus his control on the fire system first, and after he released the basic magic of the fire system called Fire Z, he would continue to absorb rain and dew as before. It is estimated that it will only take 1 or 2 days. Qin Mo has already controlled the fire star dust to the 7th star, and will soon be able to release the magic. 2 days later, Qin Mo stood in his yard, his gaze fixed on the wooden stake 5 meters away. Fire is burning. He muttered in a low voice, and just as the words fell, all 7 stars in Qin Mohua's stardust were connected together. After completing the characterization of the star orbit, a burning sensation immediately emanated from Qin Mo's right hand. Furious and fiery. In the yard, the scent of flames rises up. Qin Mo looked at his right hand. At this moment, a scorching flame was being held in his hand, bright and moving. Go. He swung his right hand fiercely, and the flame he held tightly in his hand immediately flew out, flashing a fiery red light in the air, accurately hitting a wooden stake 5 meters away like an arrow. With just a shout, the fire filled the air, completely enveloping the small arm-sized wooden stake. In less than 2 seconds, the tall wooden stake disappeared, leaving only a gray residue on the ground. It's quite powerful, isn't it? Qin Mo nodded and said, very satisfied with this fire-type basic magic. In less than 2 seconds, burn down the wooden stakes. If this fire falls on adults and turns them into ashes, it won't be long. And this is just a mere blow to the fire. The first level of fire is called burning, followed by the second level of burning bones, the third level of bursting, and the power of fire is multiplied. And as long as you learn the first level of fire, you are not far from the next 2 or 3 levels. Different magic has different star orbits. As long as Qin Mo can arrange the 7 stars in the fire star dust into a bone-burning star orbit, in a state where the magic energy is sufficient, he can successfully release fire-nourishing bone-burning. After half a year of persistent training by Qin Mo, Xingzi, who wandered in his starry dust, has become obedient and sensible. So what we need to do next is just change the position of the 7 stars in the dust, and the difficulty is naturally much simpler than the previous control. Mo Fan should have successfully released the first level magic thunder seal of the thunder series, while I can release the magic of the double series. I have the same innate talent as him, and our spiritual strength should not be far apart. But the speed I control is much faster than him. Is it because of it? Qin Mo looked at the vermilion bird pendant hanging on his chest as he spoke. He could be certain that the vermilion bird pendant on his body had the effect of a stardust magic weapon. But I just don't know how much it can help me improve my cultivation speed. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Plan to join the city monster hunting team. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Plan to join the city monster hunting team. Just as Qin Mo finished his meal at noon, a proud voice came from outside the house. Qin Mo, I have already learned the basic skill of the Thunder series, which is the powerful Thunder Seal. Hurry up and welcome you, Fan Gu. Jia. Mo Fan laughed heartily, his laughter gradually shifting from arrogance to madness. He saw Qin Mo standing in the courtyard, then walked over to Qin Mo with a smile and patted his shoulder, with a voice that covered your face. If anyone dares to bully you in school in the future, you can call me Fan Gu. Aren't you hiding your dual lineage awakening talent? Even if you learn Lei Yin, you dare not tell your classmates in school, right? Qin Mo looked at Mo Fan's indifferent words and continued to add. And I can also release fire magic. I don't really need your care. What are you saying? Upon hearing these words, Mo Fan was immediately shocked and looked at Qin Mo, saying. Mu Bai's little white face can only control the 5 stars. How could you release magic? You can do it all, why can't I? Qin Mo said calmly, which made Mo Fan feel a bit embarrassed. He can't call me a genius. How can ordinary people compare to me? However, after a moment of embarrassment, Mo Fan's gaze towards Qin Mo became hot. He thought he was invincible in the world, but he didn't expect that there were brave generals like Qin Mo in the class. But that's also good. In the future, I will have comparative opponents who can motivate me to move forward. Mo Fan whispered in his heart, then grabbed Qin Mo's shoulder and said. Walk and walk. You are now able to unleash the beginner magic of fire type. Let's give it a try and see which one is more powerful, fire type or thunder type. I can try it, but I can't use the wooden stakes in my yard for testing. What is used without wooden stakes? Seeing Mo Fan's face full of doubts, Qin Mo turned his eyes and looked at him with a straight hook, spitting out 6 words. Do you dare to use demons? What? Just learned how to release magic and went to find demons. Is it really fake? Are you not foolish? Mo Fan's personality has always been bold, meticulous, and thick-skinned, while also possessing the confidence and pride of being a magical genius. However, even so, he did not believe that he could confront demons head-on with just himself and Qin Mo, 2 small beginner mages. Demons are cannibalistic, and the teachers in the school remind them not to cause trouble until they reach the middle level. The horror of demons runs through the entire high school magic textbook, including the giant-eyed fishy mouse and the one-eyed magic wolf. Just seeing the images of these demons on paper gives Mo Fan a penetrating feeling in his heart. They have a ferocious appearance, sharp teeth, and most importantly, their strength is strong. In Shui Muxing's words, even the lowest level Cyclops can easily defeat several ordinary beginner mages. I have just completed the connection of the star orbit with Qin Mo, and I can be considered a beginner mage who can't be more incompetent. Isn't it a gift to go find the demon now? So Mo Fan quickly comforted Qin Molai and gently advised him. Well-behaved Xiaoma, although we are true geniuses, haven't we grown up yet? What is a genius who hasn't grown up? In the demon's mouth, it's just a pile of meat. So according to your suggestion, let's be more stable before we talk. What do you think about getting to a mid-level mage first, and then going to trouble the demons? You're so cowardly. Qin Mo said lightly, but this calm and gentle tone caused considerable damage to Mo Fan's soul. He gave Qin Mo a heavy pat on the shoulder and loudly said. Xiao Qin, you have to be responsible when speaking. It's difficult to be a mage. Don't just open your mouth and talk nonsense here. Besides, I'm not cowardly, there's a big difference between cowardly and cowardly. You are just cowardly. The responsibility of a mage is to deal with demons, but if we stay in school and cast magic at wooden stakes that cannot be moved every day, even if we become mid-level mages in the future, they will only be flowers cultivated in the greenhouse. When we truly face demons, the fear in our physical presence will make it impossible for us to connect to the star's orbit, and we won't be able to unleash a spell until we die. Mages like this who cannot directly confront demons are useless. I don't want to be such a waste. Qin Mo spoke calmly, and Mo Fan almost didn't get angry when he heard this. He silently gave Qin Mo a thumbs up and angrily said. 666, you're amazing, you're a genius. But have you ever thought that it's impossible for us two to deal with demons solely based on our strength? Anyway, Mo Fan left my words here. If you want to find a demon, you can do it, but you must wait another year. Otherwise, you can knock me down and lie on the ground first, and then run out alone to die. Upon hearing this, Qin Mo turned his eyes to him and said with a strange expression. Did you misunderstand something? I didn't say I was just taking you to find the demon. How dare I take you alone to run up to the demon and shake your head with such a dish? Isn't that just seeking death? I don't want to be chewed into a few pieces by demons and swallowed into my stomach, then turned into a pudding and pulled out. Upon hearing these words, Mo Fan's face turned pale, and he was eaten by a demon and pulled out a pile of feces. This scene is a bit too visually appealing, isn't it? What did you mean by what you said earlier? He hesitated for a while before asking a question, and Qin Mo said. What I mean is, let's join the city demon hunting team together. Qin Mo is not a fool. Although he has mastered the basic magic of time and fire at the same time, in the eyes of demons, it is just a pile of walking flesh. He wants to truly face demons and exercise his strength through real battles. But his paper strength is just here, relying solely on Qin Mo's strength is far from enough. Plus, Mo Fan is no exception. So Qin Mo thought of the city monster hunting team. Joining the city demon hunting team has several benefits. Firstly, it can avoid the vast majority of risks, allowing him to face demons firsthand, which is of great benefit to Qin Mo's strength improvement. Secondly, the urban demon hunting team will receive a substantial reward after completing the mission. Thirdly, after hunting the demon, the vermilion bird pendant on his body will absorb the demon's residual and even spirit. 100 residual souls can merge into 1 spirit soul, and 7 spirit souls can strengthen the star child, greatly improving Qin Mo's basic magic. Finally, discard the above 3 points and return to the essence. Hunting demons is to eliminate harm for the people. As long as Qin Mo removes 1 demon, he can invisibly save many people's lives. For this last reason alone, Qin Mo also had to join the city monster hunting team. But then again, now Qin Mo is just a beginner mage who can't be any worse. Even if he awakens to a relatively rare fire system in Bo City, the members of the city monster hunting team will not let him join the team. Fire is very popular in the early stages, but it is far less popular than thunder. Qin Mo needs to rely on Mo Fan to successfully join a city demon hunting team. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Pulling Mo Fan onto the thief ship. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Pulling Mo Fan onto the thief ship. Half an hour later, Qin Mo pulled a reluctant Mo Fan and set off for the hunter's hall. Grandma, it seems that you are really going to drag me onto the thief's boat. I am still young and haven't been tempted and polluted by this colorful world. I don't want to die. Mo Fan sighed with a mournful face, and Qin Mo said calmly upon hearing the words. Don't worry, you won't die. But if you really don't want to be with me, you can go back now. What do you say? Even Qin Mo dares to join the city monster hunting team, how can I persuade him? Go ahead, Mo Fan. I have sacrificed my life to accompany the gentleman. Mo Fan said fiercely and patted his chest, but was exposed by Qin Mo beside him. Are you willing to sacrifice your life to accompany a gentleman? You just can't bear the bounty and spirit obtained from hunting demons in order to successfully persuade Mo Fan himself to join the city demon hunting team. Qin Mo explained all the benefits of joining the team to Mo Fan. When he mentioned that a spirit was worth 5 million yuan, Mo Fan's eyes burst with an immensely eager light, and he immediately slapped his thigh and agreed. However, after that, Mo Fan, who was extremely curious, chased after Qin Mo and asked many questions, especially about the green dragon and vermilion bird totems on their bodies, but they were all blocked by Qin Mo with the words, secret. Xiao Qin, you must remember our agreement. After hunting the demons, half of the things will be exposed to each person. Mo Fan issued a reminder with unease, and Qin Mo nodded helplessly upon hearing the words. I know, you've reminded me 18 times, can you stop saying that? The hunter's hall is right in front. Do you remember what I just said to you? I know, my name is Fan Mo, and your name is Zhang San. We are both newly graduated high school students. But why did you give yourself the pseudonym Zhang San? Your name is so tacky, it sounds like a small vegetable chicken. Amidst Mo Fan's chatter, the two of them went to the hunter's hall together. There is a huge LCD screen hanging in the center of the hunter's hall, with many bounty missions on it, ranging from tens of thousands to millions. Qin Mo didn't feel anything when he saw it, but Mo Fan was so excited that his mouth was about to water when he saw those bounties worth over 1 million yuan. He is too short of money now. After learning from Qin Mo about the role of his little loach, he became extremely eager to upgrade it and evolve it into a spirit-level stardust magic weapon. 5,005,205. Watching Mo Fan beside him drooling and muttering incessantly, Qin Mo shook his head helplessly. I really shouldn't have brought him out with me. This Tainima is embarrassing. Qin Mo unconsciously quickened his pace, and after going to the recruitment office of the city demon hunting team, he let out a loud roar. There are thunder mages here. As Qin Mo's words fell, a burly man sitting next to the recruitment platform stood up and exclaimed in an urgent voice. Lay series mage. Where and where? Here, here. Qin Mo waved his hand to the burly man in the distance, who immediately took steps and walked through the long queue to reach Qin Mo. Are you Master Lei? The big man asked earnestly, and Qin Mo shook his head and raised his hand to point to Mo Fan beside him. I'm not, he is. As soon as Qin Mo finished speaking, the big man in front of him turned his gaze, and his extremely eager gaze fell on Mo Fan. Are you Master Lei? Ah-ha. Mo Fan stopped talking about 205 anymore, pretended to nod calmly, then closed his eyes and meditated, connecting the stars. Pushy pushy. A few seconds later, the orbit of the star was completed, and Mo Fan's hand was flashing with a purple arc. Okay. Watching Mo Fan successfully release the thunder mark, a thick smile appeared on the face of the burly man. He turned around and waved his hand towards the long queue in front of him, shouting loudly. Let's all go, let's go. Our demon hunting team has already recruited everyone. The people in the long queue were very helpless, but no matter how helpless they were, there was nothing they could do. They have already learned from Chin Mo that Mo Fan is a lay style mage, and lay style is incomparable, let alone impossible to snatch. But among so many people, there are always a few unwilling to give up, holding a hint of hope and asking. Are you really not hiring anymore? I am a fire mage with strong combat abilities. If it's not possible, I can still do odd jobs for you, can I? The call is full. I'll call you again next time. The burly man waved impatiently, and the person could only leave with his head down. The fire mage just left, but Chin Mo hasn't left yet. He first looked at the burly man in front of him, then looked at Mo Fan beside him, blinking and saying. Is it full? Mo Fan immediately understood the situation and blinked, saying. Is it full? I don't think so, Chin Mo shook his head. I don't think so, Mo Fan shook his head. No, you two are just singing along and want to join our city demon hunting team together. The burly man saw what the two of them meant, and Chin Mo didn't say much, just nodded. Mo Fan snorted lightly and said seriously. Not bad. With him, with me, without him. Ah, this time it's Han's turn to find it tricky. A mage who awakens the Thunder series at the beginning is a coveted treasure, and it's not possible to have 1 out of 1,000 people. Although we have found Master Lei now, there is still a dragging oil bottle behind him. You two must join our city's demon hunting team together. How about I write a recommendation letter to introduce your friend to another team? De Han tentatively asked, and Mo Fan shook his head firmly upon hearing the words. That's not possible. I've agreed with Zhang San to be together, and we won't part even if we die. You. As the people around Chin Mo looked at him and Mo Fan with strange expressions, Chin Mo's face became a bit ugly and he couldn't help but explain. Don't misunderstand, he and I are just very simple friends. After saying these words, he looked at Mo Fan next to him and said. Pay attention to your wording when speaking, don't exaggerate so much. At this moment, Mo Fan finally realized and widened his eyes, saying. What are you guys thinking? I'm a straight man with a strong and unyielding character, and I don't want to be gay. After a series of discussions, Chin Mo finally succeeded in joining the city demon hunting team. The burly man originally did not want to agree and suggested that Chin Mo go to another team. But after learning that Chin Mo had awakened to the fire system, the willingness of the great Han to refuse decreased significantly, and he hesitated for a long time before agreeing. After all, you are only a beginner level 1 mage, and the power of the first level fire is difficult to cause fatal damage to demons, so you just need to follow us and fight, without rushing ahead. The big Han said to Chin Mo, and Chin Mo nodded upon hearing the words. Isn't it just doing odd jobs? He's very good at it. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Facing Demons and Releasing Magic. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 Facing Demons and Releasing Magic. Bo City has many demon hunting teams, and this city's demon hunting team is composed of 5 mages. Captain Su Dahuang, a fire mage. Teammate Xiaoke, water mage. Li Wenjie, wind style. Fei Shi, soil type. There is also Mu Haitang from the Mu family, the vice-captain of this team, from the Ice series. In addition, the newly arrived Mo Fan and Chin Mo formed a team of 7. After Chin Mo and his team officially joined the city demon hunting team, they quickly received their first task. To clean up the giant-eyed fishy rats hiding in the sewer. The giant-eyed scarlet rat is a type of demon that lives in the soil for a long time. They are good at drilling holes and enjoy living in the city's sewers. This thing is like a stray mouse, with strong survival ability and extremely fast reproduction speed. So every once in a while, people from the city demon hunting team will go to various sewers to clean up the hidden giant-eyed fishy rats inside Mu Haitang. Accurately and in detail provided information about the giant-eyed fishy rat, which is actually basic common sense. Su Dahuang and others have been dealing with the giant-eyed fishy rat for many years, so it goes without saying much. The words she just said were actually meant for the newly joined Qin Mo and Mo Fan to listen to. After hearing the news that he was going to sweep away the demons next, Mo Fan's excited eyes were about to light up, and he hurriedly shouted to set off. Calm down, calm down. Qin Mo patted Mo Fan's shoulder with exhaustion, and Su Dahuang and others around him couldn't help but shake their heads and smile as they looked at Qin Mo with a calm face and Mo Fan with immense excitement. Alright, get ready to go. I happen to exercise you well through this demonic sweep. Su Dahuang waved his hand to signal his departure, and Feisher looked at Mo Fan and Qin Mo with a meaningful expression on his face. He smiled and said, I hope that after seeing the real demon, you can remain as calm and excited as you are now. I'll bet 5 yuan, they'll be so scared they can't even unleash their magic when they see the giant-eyed rat. I bet 10 yuan, and I also feel like they can't unleash magic. Amidst murmurs of discussion, Su Dahuang led the members of the demon hunting team to locate an abandoned sewer marked on the map. Generally speaking, 4 to 7 giant-eyed rats gather in a nest of a giant-eyed rat. Mu Haitang continued to explain, and Qin Mo beside him couldn't help but have a few doubts in his eyes when he heard the words. The giant-eyed bloody mouse is a servant-level demon with roughly the same strength as a third-level novice mage. If there are really 4 to 7 giant-eyed fishy rats here, we are afraid it will be a bit troublesome to deal with. Are you worried that these giant-eyed rats will unite to attack us? Feisher looked at Qin Mo and smiled. Qin Mo nodded and Mu Haitang said beside him. If the giant-eyed fishy rats really gather together to besiege us, as you said, then we won't have any trouble dealing with it. It should be said that we can't handle it at all. After she finished speaking, Captain Su Dahuang also spoke at this moment. The giant-eyed fishy rat has rough skin and thick flesh, and its speed is not slow. Even if it is hit directly by a third-level fire, it cannot be instantly killed with one strike. In addition, the giant-eyed fishy mouse also has a powerful attack ability. Its neck can suddenly elongate, and if it is encountered by an inexperienced mage, it is likely to be caught off guard. The most crucial thing is that they can release powerful rays from their eyes, which can directly penetrate our bodies. So if the giant-eyed rats really join forces to besiege, then we will have to turn around and run away. Those who can run away will be won, while those who cannot run away will only become the food in the giant-eyed rats' stomachs. This. Upon hearing these words on the side, Mo Fan's face turned ugly and he turned to Qin Mo, saying, Why don't we go back? I was dragged to reincarnation right after I started working, and I want to live a few more years. Ha ha ha. Su Dahuang laughed heartily as he watched Mo Fan, who was about to withdraw, and said with relief. The life of a mage is precious, and I won't take you with me to die. Although the strength of the giant-eyed rats is not weak, a few of them can cause extremely terrifying destructive power when combined, but they are cowardly. As long as I throw a third-level fire over, those gathered giant-eyed fishy mice will be frightened and run away. And what we need to do is to come knocking on these giant-eyed rats one by one after they scatter and escape, and solve them one by one. I feel relieved when you say that. After listening to the explanation, Mo Fan finally felt relieved and nodded with a smile. But Qin Mo still frowned, knowing that there was a black cult lurking in Bo City. Hu Jin, the Grand Deacon Mu He, has developed a spring in Bo City that can turn demons into madness. They have infused the Fountain of Fury into the rainwater, bringing an unprecedented red alert to Bo City. Subsequently, demons attacked the city, causing countless deaths and injuries, and it became a den of demons. There are still about 2 years left until the Butching Rebellion, and the Fountain of Fury has not been completely perfected. And this giant-eyed fishy rat is one of the demons used by the Black Church to test the Fountain of Fury. After being affected by the Fountain of Fury, the giant-eyed bloody rat will become irritable and irritable. At that time, they will no longer be afraid of death, nor will they be afraid of mages. Only a few giant-eyed bloody rats can work together to bring devastating blows to the urban demon hunting team. But if the giant-eyed fishy rats here are affected by the Fountain of Fury, they will not stay in the sewer as they become more daring, but will leave here and go to environments with relatively more people, making it easier to eat people. Chin Mo was secretly analyzing in his heart, but he couldn't guarantee that the giant-eyed rat here had not been contaminated with the Fountain of Fury. If he really encountered such an extremely dangerous situation, he could only consider himself unlucky, and a group of people fled separately. A few people searched for more than 20 minutes in this dark and damp sewer, and finally found the giant-eyed fishy rat lurking here. A few bright flashlights illuminated the huge demons hiding in front, their bodies slightly larger than ordinary cars, with crimson eyeballs larger than human heads. At this moment, 6 giant-eyed fishy mice felt the light and turned around at the same time, with 12 blood-colored eyes staring straight at Chin Mo and the others. These giant-eyed fishy mice have blood-colored lumps on their eyes, which rotate with their eyeballs, making Chin Mo's scalp tingle and his hair feel like it's about to stand up. Not only him, but also Mo Fan beside him was frightened and his legs and stomach were trembling. Star Orbit, Connect. It took Chin Mo a full 5 seconds to finally complete the portrayal of the Star Child, and a scorching flame was held in his hand. In the dark and damp sewer, flames suddenly appeared. The sudden appearance of the firelight brought some warmth to everyone. Su Dahuang and Mu Haitang turned their heads to look at Chin Mo, their eyes flashing with an extremely shocked light. After giving Chin Mo a deep glance, Mu Haitang raised her eyebrows and smiled, saying, "Not bad, encountering so many demons in such a eerie environment, you 2 rookies didn't even turn around and run away scared. I thought you would pee in your pants here. It's just that I wasn't scared away. I was able to complete the characterization of the star's orbit in just a few seconds. Is your heart made of iron so hard? The first time I saw a demon, my legs went limp. Okay, if it weren't for the help of the leading mage, I would have died in the hands of the demon at that time," Su Dahuang exclaimed in disbelief, even beginning to doubt whether the 2 rookies in front of him were rookies. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Reverse Star Orbit, Time-Controlled Acceleration. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 8. Reverse Star Orbit, Time Control Acceleration. Damn it, I wet my pants the first time. Feisher also sighed, looking at Chin Mo as if he was looking at a pervert. Lei Yin's python marks. At this moment, Mo Fan beside him was not willing to be outdone. He tried his best to overcome his fear and successfully released the thunder-type basic magic. Tisk, perverts happen every year, especially this year. Su Dahuang shook his head and sighed. As he spoke, a flame emerged in his palm. It's time for me to perform. The fire is exploding. Fire is burning. Lei Yin's python marks. Everyone's magic was released together, and Chin Mo also threw out his own fire. But his fire has just reached level 1, and he can only bring a small amount of skin damage to the giant-eyed fishy rat. There is also Mo Fan's Thunder Seal, which is equally difficult to cause much damage to the giant-eyed fishy rat. What really worked was Su Dahuang's 3rd-level fire explosion, which contained enormous energy and exploded directly when thrown at those giant-eyed fishy rats. A tremor appeared in the air, and the burst of flames was dazzling. These giant-eyed fishy mice were originally planning to escape, but while Mu Haitang and others were talking and communicating, their hand movements did not stop. Most of the people in the city demon hunting team are experienced mages. Although Mu Haitang is talking to Chin Mo, he has already released the ice magic. Feisher said on his mouth that he had been scared to pee, and the rocky waves had already been released. The slow ground waves make it difficult for the nearby giant-eyed rat to move, coupled with Mu Haitang's ice vine condensation, making it even more difficult for the giant-eyed rat to move. The range of influence of second-level basic magic is not small, but these giant-eyed fishy rats are also large in size. A giant-eyed fishy rat is a small truck, and Tang and Facier tried their best, but could only affect 3 giant-eyed fishy rats. 3 giant-eyed rats were affected, and Su Dahuang's third-level fire burst into flames. The intense flames engulfed most of these rats, and the huge impact of the explosion sent them flying 5 meters away. 3 giant-eyed fishy mice were seriously injured by Su Dahuang, while the other 3 were frightened and scattered, running away quickly. The next thing to do is much simpler. The 3 heavily injured giant-eyed fishy mice didn't run fast and were soon found and solved. Continuing to cook the remaining 3 heads took a lot of time, but in the end, there was no danger. As Su Dahuang said, Qin Mo can only follow behind and fight. The first-level fire can only cause some flesh damage to these demons and has little effect. Unlike Mo Fan's Lei Yin, which can directly paralyze the body of the giant-eyed fishy rat, it has a remarkable control effect. The final task was perfectly resolved, and the 6 giant-eyed fishy mice did not burst out of spirit. Qin Mo and Mo Fan, 3 of them, collected the remaining remnants. After returning to the city demon hunting team, Su Dahuang obtained a document for Qin Mo and Mo Fan, and then transferred the rewards obtained from the demon hunting to their cards. The reward for this mission is 200,000 yuan, with Qin Mo and Mo Fan sharing 10,000 yuan each. After all, they only know level 1 magic and can't play much role in the process of hunting monsters. It's already quite good to get 10,000 points. Besides, Qin Mo didn't come for the reward. As for Mo Fan, let alone this 10,000 yuan bounty, it made him smile happily. After leaving the city demon hunting team, Mo Fan stopped pretending and hugged Qin Mo, licking and praising him. Qin Mo, your decision is really wise. Studying in school is useless. Even if I see 10,000 demonic images, I don't truly feel the usefulness of one visit, do you know now? Qin Mo looked at Mo Fan and smiled. I don't even think about what the training in school is all about. Exams, target shooting, attending demon classes, and analyzing combat skills may be useful training, but it is only minimal. Practicing magic release proficiently can make one's heart tremble with fear, hands and feet tremble, and then be bitten to death by demons. The best way to train is to have first-hand contact with demons. And battle is the only way to enhance strength. Over the next month, Qin Mo will report to the city demon hunting team every day. When there is a task, he will follow the city demon hunting team to start fighting. If he didn't receive the task, he would go to other teams to make up for it. In short, throughout this winter vacation, Qin Mo almost faced demons every day. Of course, Mo Fan's contribution was indispensable. Every time Qin Mo went out to search for a team, Mo Fan would follow with excitement on his face. Those teams may not want to let go of Qin Mo's fiery style, but Mo Fan's thunder style is something they can't bear to let go of. The ultimate result is to add Qin Mo, a small drag on the team, while allowing Mo Fan to join. Underworld cultivation, demon hunting, sleeping days passed by like this, and by the time school started again, Qin Mo had successfully mastered the second-level magic of time series time-based beginner magic. The first level is called slowness, and the second level is acceleration. Time control delay can be to reduce the time flow rate of the corresponding target. Qin Mo sees it as an extremely powerful control skill, forcing the opponent's speed to slow down by 50%, and the opponent is still difficult to detect, thinking that he is normal. As for the second level, time control acceleration, the effect is opposite to the first level's time magic, which is to accelerate the target's time flow rate. Qin Mo tested it himself, and it lasted for 6 minutes. During these 6 minutes, Qin Mo's speed directly doubled compared to the world. Now his maximum running speed is 15 meters per second, and after accelerating himself, it will increase to 30 meters per second, which is quite fast. It is worth mentioning that the accelerated and slow star orbits are depicted in opposite order, but their star orbit patterns are identical. Simply put, time control delay starts with the first star, followed by 2, 3, 4, and 5 finally connect to the 7th star. And, time control acceleration happens to be the opposite of it, starting with the 7th star and then 6, 5, 4, 3 finally connect to the first star. The orbit of the star is reversed, but the pattern of the orbit is the same, which can achieve complete overlap. This discovery surprised Qin Mo a bit, as there is no magic in any series that is released in this way in a reverse orbit. For example, the first level magic fire of the fire system, the first level burning is a set of star orbits, and the second level bone burning is another set of star orbits. The patterns of the star orbits are different, but the order of the connecting stars is completely the same. The same goes for explosions, where the star orbits are different and the stars always connect from 1 to 7. Time-based magic can be connected in reverse, but what about fire-based magic? Can it also be connected in reverse? There are also thunder and water systems. What kind of magic would be released if we could really achieve a reverse connection of the star's orbit? Qin Mo secretly thought to himself that the discovery of the reverse connected star orbit had aroused his great curiosity. He couldn't help but want to give it a try, to see if the fire system could reverse the connected star orbit. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Teacher Tang Yu's Personal Counseling. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Teacher Tang Yu's Personal Counseling. Today is the first day of the new semester. As soon as the first class started, a new teacher arrived in the class. Her face was cold and beautiful, with rough waves that looked terrible. The new teacher is naturally Tang Yu, with a perfect figure and charming face, making the students in the audience's eyes shine and even nosebleeds almost flowing out. Qin Mo is relatively calm, unlike Mo Fan and Zhang Xiaoho, who are not as promising. A beautiful person in front of you is beautiful, but it is destined not to be his dish. Tang Yu later became fond of Mo Fan. My name is Tang Yu, and I will be your future teacher for magic practice classes. Today is my first lesson for you. Let me show you with your own eyes what the release of magic is all about. Everyone gather on the playground. Tang Yu was obviously a quick and decisive person, so she ordered directly. The students below were all excited and gathered on the playground in no time. At this moment, Tang Yu stood in the center of the playground, looking at the classmates around her. The next thing I will demonstrate to you is the basic magic of fire, Fire Z. You must remember to be calm and focused when connecting star orbits, and not be disturbed by anything. Even if I'm talking to you now, my mind is completely focused on my fire nebula. Oh, within the stardust cold and gentle words reached the ears of every student, and Tang Yu stood there like a sculpture. Suddenly, her aura changed. Hot and irritable. There is no wind on the playground, but her hair seems to be spreading in a wave of heat, dancing with the wind at this moment. Control the star child. At this moment, you are the caller. Let your star child obey your instructions and open the door to the fire magic energy for you. Tang Yu continued, her voice suddenly changing from soft to somewhat solemn, even carrying a proud aura of burning everything in front of her. Tang Yu's aura changed, and the male classmates in the class also changed their gaze as they looked at him. He was no longer as vulgar and lewd as before, with a hint of admiration and awe in his eyes. Qin Mo's gaze remained fixed on Tang Yu, with a hint of contemplation in his gaze. Why don't you go ask teacher Tang Yu about the reverse-connected star orbit? Tang Yu is a major in fire and also a member of the Judgment Council, with a strong background. She must have a much better understanding of the fire star dust than Qin Mo. Maybe she can help him solve some doubts. While pondering, Tang Yu, not far away, completed her magical release. The incredibly strong flames set the puppet on fire, and the flames burst forth with a whistling sound of the wind. Tang Yu faced the crowd with a smile on her face, and the bright flames shone on her face. This scene can only be described in 3 words. It's amazing. At this moment, all the students in the class were captured by Tang Yu. She was beautiful and powerful, noble and moving. Of course, Qin Mo is an exception. He didn't pay attention to Tang Yu's magical release at all, but kept thinking in his heart whether or not to ask about the retrograde orbit. Qin Mo's unique reaction quickly caught Tang Yu's attention, mainly because he was handsome, which naturally attracted Tang Yu's attention more than other classmates. And Qin Mo's gaze was too calm, while his classmates around him looked at Tang Yu with admiration in their eyes. But Qin Mo looked at her as if she was looking at a product of unknown value, with a thoughtful gaze. "This student, what is your name?" Tang Yu looked at Qin Mo and said. Seeing teacher Tang Yu suddenly cut herself off, Qin Mo couldn't help but feel a hint of surprise on his face and said. "My name is Qin Mo." "Qin Mo. Are you awakened to the fire system?" Tang Yu looked at Qin Mo and smiled, her rosy lips slightly pursed, charming and moving. "Yeah, how did the teacher know?" Qin Mo nodded at the words, with a hint of doubt in his voice. "I can feel the flame aura on your body, which is very strong, indicating that your cultivation talent for fire is very strong. How many stars have you controlled now?" Tang Yu continued to ask, and Qin Mo smiled confidently upon hearing the words. "Secret." He gave such an answer, and the confident smile on his face made Mo Fan grit his teeth. "Watching my good brother pretend to be handsome and flirt with beautiful women, but I can't do anything, it's even more uncomfortable than death. Damn it, I will definitely play my luck controlling the fire star in the future. I can't let Qin Mo pretend alone. I am afraid that my brothers will suffer, and even more so, I am afraid that my brothers will lead the way." Watching the beautiful teacher smile at Qin Mo's teasing, Mo Fan's current mood was even more uncomfortable than simply eating shit. "I must practice well and amaze all of you in the future." Mo Fan secretly swore in his heart, and Tang Yu looked at Qin Mo with a smile and said. "I'm waiting to see your performance in this semester's annual assessment." After saying these words, she looked at the other classmates in the class and continued to ask. "Which of you are awakened to the fire system? Let me take a name and remember. I am a fire type." Upon hearing these words, Mo Fan immediately raised his hand. Upon hearing this, Tang Yu turned to him and Zhao Kun said 3 times. "Mo Fan, why don't you stand up? A semester has passed and you, the fire star child, can't control any of them. The stardust is even too dark to see. Stop teasing, okay?" Upon hearing Zhao Kunsen's words, Tang Yu's face showed a hint of regret and shook her head at Mo Fan, saying. "The flame aura on your body is not weak, although it may not be as strong as Qin Mo's classmate just now, it is not just a matter of cultivation. Mo Fan, many people aspire to become fire-type wizards. You already have an advantage that many people don't have, so you can't do it without effort, oh." Mo Fan nodded at the words, his heart filled with bitterness. "Damn it, I've been used as a negative textbook. Damn it." Afterwards, several students from the fire department stood up, and Tang Yu nodded and emphasized the importance of annual assessment. Students who fail the assessment will be asked to leave the school, and students with excellent and average grades will also be divided into different classes. Those who are assigned to the top class will receive a certain amount of love, which will give you a greater advantage in taking the entrance exam to the University of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Therefore, this semester, everyone needs to work harder. Next semester, I will serve as the practical teacher for the top class. In addition, if anyone among you can fully control the 7 stars, you can come to me after class and I will allocate personal time to provide guidance for you. Alright, that's all for this magic practice class. You all have the freedom to move around." After saying these words, Tang Yu turned around and left. Qin Mo stood in place pondering for a long time, but eventually caught up with the teacher in the direction they had left. Along the way, Qin Mo asked several teachers and found out about Tang Yu's office. He went to the door of the office and knocked with his hand. "Come on in." The sound of Tang Yu came from inside the room, and Qin Mo opened the door and walked in. Seeing Qin Mo as the person coming, Tang Yu couldn't help but be taken aback and then smiled. Why are you here? The teacher seems to have said earlier that I will only provide you with personal guidance once you have complete control of the 7th star. But I have perfect control over the 7 stars. Qin Mo looked at Tang Yu and smiled. Tang Yu has a strong background and an independent office at school. So now there are only Qin Mo and Tang Yu here, and he doesn't have to worry about being known by others. What? Upon hearing Qin Mo's words, Tang Yu was once again stunned. After giving Qin Mo a deep glance, she shook her head and said, Qin, lying is a very bad habit. I didn't lie. Qin Mo shook his head and raised his right hand while speaking. As his mind moved, the 7 fire stars quickly connected together. The star's orbit appears, and magic emerges. Qin Mo's hand was filled with a bright flame, causing Tang Yu's red lips to slightly open in shock. Taking a deep glance at Qin Mo in front of her, Tang Yu's beautiful eyes showed a hint of inexplicable meaning. She has a mission to come to Bo City and is investigating matters related to the Black Church. Qin Mo's cultivation speed is so fast. In Yi Xinxia's words, only those from the Black Cult would have such a cultivation speed. How could Tang Yu not be suspicious? You actually completed the orbit characterization in just 6 months. It seems that I need to pay more attention to you in the future, little one. Tang Yu looked at Qin Mo with a meaningful smile and said, now she seriously suspects that Qin Mo is a talent secretly cultivated by the Black Church. And the reason why he found himself so quickly may be due to an invisible beauty trick, which is why he can't wait to show his strength and want to attract his attention. Although Tang Yu did not use this so-called beauty trick, who really made her look good. It's normal for children to love her. Qin Mo, let's talk about it. What's the reason for coming to find the teacher? She asked with a smile, her charming and gentle laughter full of temptation. This power almost caught Qin Mo's eye, almost falling under the beautiful woman's pomegranate skirt. But after all, he didn't forget the main purpose of coming here. After retracting the flame he was holding in his hand, Qin Mo coughed lightly and said, I came to see the teacher because I have a doubt in my heart and I want the teacher to help me refer to it. These days, I suddenly had a strange idea that after successfully connecting the stars into their orbits, magic can be released. The sudden depiction of star orbits by mages is fixed, and only by connecting the stars in the prescribed order can the star orbits be successfully depicted. But what if we reverse the order of connecting stars? Still depicting the same star orbit, but reversing the order of stars from 7 to 1. Can we still release magic in this way? If magic is really released, will the magic be different and what will be the effect, what? Qin Mo raised a series of questions, causing Tang Yu in front of her to feel confused and also carrying a few surprises. No, are you really here to ask for leave? However, even so, we still cannot clear your suspicion of coming from the Black Church. Tang Yu whispered to herself in her heart, then pondered the question raised by Qin Mo. There has never been a mage who has personally tried things like reverse orbit. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Practice, practice, or practice. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Practice, practice, or practice. The pattern of the star's orbit is completely fixed, as it has been throughout history. Students learn magic step by step and release it. The order in which mages depict star orbits, passed down from generation to generation, is the timeless wisdom of the wizarding world. This is the first time Tang Yu has encountered someone like Qin Mo who has just learned to release magic and wants to break the rules. For a moment, Tang Yu looked at Qin Mo and didn't know what to say. The power of magic is powerful, as long as it is slightly uncontrollable. It is easy to ignite and burn oneself. Now Qin Mo suddenly proposed the idea of reversing the orbit of the stars, which naturally made Tang Yu think of things such as going crazy and the star breaking. So after thinking for a long time, Tang Yu looked at Qin Moru and advised in a soft voice. Qin Mo, your idea of retrograde orbit is very unique, but you should also know that such thoughts are very dangerous. Since ancient times, the order of stellar connections has been fixed, and the patterns used to depict star orbits have also been fixed. If there is a slight error in the connection between the stars, it will be difficult to release magic. More seriously, they may even be backfired by the magic they release and suffer considerable damage. There has never been a precedent for things like a retrograde orbit from ancient times to the present day. So today, the teacher wants to remind you solemnly not to rashly try to reverse the orbit of the star. If you practice step by step, your strength will also steadily improve. When you have completely mastered the third level fire and cannot break through to a mid-level mage in a short period of time, you can try to reverse the star orbit and see if you can release more powerful magic. If you try to reverse the orbit of the star now, but are unable to release the corresponding magic after success, wouldn't it waste a lot of time? Moreover, the retrograde orbit may come with unknown dangers, and attempting it now would not be worth the effort. Teacher, what you said is very reasonable. Upon hearing these words, Qin Mo nodded. After thinking for a moment, he suddenly thought of a new question and looked at Tang Yu, saying, Teacher Tang Yu, has there really been no precedent of a reverse orbit before this? There are no other types of magic either. No. Tang Yu shook her head. Magic and magic are interconnected, and can be described as having different paths leading to the same goal. If there are other types of magic that can reverse connect stars, then your fire-type magic can also reverse connect stars. But there are no precedents now, so the risk of reverse connected stars is very high, so this is it. Magic and magic are interconnected. Upon hearing these words, Qin Mo's eyes lit up sharply and he smiled at Tang Yu. Thank you, teacher. You have completely answered my doubts. You are truly knowledgeable and talented. Then I'll go back first and practice well. Go back and give it a good cheer. Tang Yu nodded and smiled. After Qin Mo pushed the door open and left, she sat alone on the sofa in the office, thinking about the idea Qin Mo had just proposed. Tang Yu is now a mid-level mage and has been staying there for quite some time. She has long mastered the intermediate magic of the fire series, Fist, 9 palaces. This is a level 3 Fist, and there is no further improvement unless you use your spirit to level up the star child. That is to say, Tang Yu is currently in the situation she just mentioned, and her strength has temporarily reached a bottleneck. She cannot break through to become a high-level mage in the short term. Isn't this just suitable for testing Qin Mo's conjecture? Tang Yu could never have imagined that the words she had just used to admonish Qin Mo were immediately on her. Reverse connected orbit, maybe I can try to draw it. Tang Yu felt a slight movement in her heart, while Qin Mo on the other side had already made up her mind. I want to reverse track the star's orbit. Teacher Tang Yu has already said that as long as there is a precedent ahead, the correct conjecture is to connect the star orbit in reverse. Although there is no precedent in the current world for a retrograde orbit, it exists in Qin Mo's stardust. The magic of time series can be reversed in star orbit, indicating that fire series is also possible. Qin Mo knows that the second level fire is burning bones, and the third level fire is bursting. But he didn't know what the fire of the star's retrograde orbit was. Qin Mo was very excited and curious in his heart. He is eager to give it a try. So for future cultivation, Qin Mo has placed the focus of fire magic on the reverse connected star orbit. He doesn't even practice fire burns bones anymore, and every day he tries his best to control the stars, depicting the reverse trajectory of fire burns. Meanwhile, besides fire magic, Qin Mo did not let go of the practice of time magic. The first level third level magic of time is called time control solidification. This is a time magic that immediately sounds powerful upon hearing its name. Qin Mo speculated in his heart that the approximate effect of time solidification should be to pause the target's time. It can be simply understood as immobilization, allowing the other party to stand still without any resistance, becoming Qin Mo's target. If this is the case, it will be awesome. Let the target time pause. This should be considered as the control skill of awesome all over the world, right? It's not excessive to think of it as a super-level magic, but as a result, such time magic appeared in the early stages. Qin Mo couldn't even imagine how terrifying the effects of time systems would be after reaching high levels, super levels, and even forbidden spells. Practice. Practice day and night. The courses in Magic High School were extremely boring, so Qin Mo didn't even attend classes for the next month. He only does two things every day, searching for teams to hunt down demons and returning to school to practice hard. He still hasn't given up exercising during meditation, and even brought Mo Fan along. Shui Mushing was giving a lecture in the classroom, while Qin Mo and Mo Fan were conducting devil training on the playground, playing with the squeezing of their bodies while practicing meditation. Such unprofessional behavior will naturally be criticized by Shui Mushing, and there is no nonsense about Qin Mo shaking hands is like a burning fire. In the blink of an eye, the flames burned down the wooden stakes on the playground, causing the class teacher beside them to stare and causing the surrounding students to climax. Qin Mo was revered as the first student god of Tianlan Magic High School. The previous god of learning was Su Zhaoting, but now he has only controlled 6 stars. However, Qin Mo can now directly release magic, which can be said to be a huge gap. So Shui Mushing doesn't care about Qin Mo anymore. As a top student, you can sleep, read novels, and play games in class, as long as you have good grades. There is also Mo Fan, who told Shui Mushing that he controlled 3 stars, and such a terrifying speed of meditation also made Shui Mushing speechless. You know, Mo Fan couldn't even control a single star a month ago. What else can Shui Mushing say after successfully controlling 3 stars in just 1 month? So, Tianlan Magic High School has 2 more monsters. Without attending classes or practicing silently, the speed of strength growth is like a rocket ascending to the sky, making everyone exclaim outrageous. End of this chapter.